Coach, appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you.
We'll get started here with John McMullen and then Rube.
Hey, Nick. Good morning.
Hey, John.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on the passing of John Madden. Did you ever come across him? I know he tried to keep his foot in his game. Obviously, everybody knows him, but just what he meant to you as a football coach and
Yeah, I never did come across him, but all the great football coaches you try to learn from, and he's definitely a guy that I've seen the football life on and learned some things about that about him that have contributed to me being a coach. So I'm grateful for that. And then obviously somebody my age, and obviously the people that are even younger than myself. Know his video games, and that was the big thing, like hearing him on the video games and when I was growing up, or just seeing him on TV broadcast the game. It was always cool. He just got that voice that was unbelievable, the charisma, he just made watching football games on television, he just made it really enjoyable for all people, and so obviously we're saddened and he'll be missed.
Go ahead, Rube, and then Zach.
Hey, Nick. Happy New Year. I have a kind of a combo question about Miles and Jordan. Number one, do you know anything new about Miles and the timetable? I know you're not big on timetables. But is there a realistic shot of getting him back at some point? And with Jordan, he had that neck injury 2 years ago. Obviously, you weren't here. Is there any connection between his rehab now with the stinger and what he went through that really knocked him out for most of the second half of 2019?
As far as Miles goes, again, won't put a timetable on him, but we're not putting him on IR, and that's not like, hey, on Thursday or Friday we're putting him on IR. We're not putting. I can share that with you. We're not putting him on IR. So obviously we're hopeful that he's back. And actually, that I had a running back a couple years ago, Marlon Mack. He broke his hand and was back. I don't remember how much time it was, but it was the same type of thing. He broke his hand and was back a little bit later in the year. So no timetable there. As far as Jordan goes with with his injury, he's just working like crazy and obviously we're aware of what happened 2 years ago, but he's just working like crazy to get back and get himself ready to go for this game. But nothing. We're aware of the injury last time. We know what went down with that and everything. And so but it's a separate injury, and we're just treating it that way and trying to get him back for this football game. And he's working. Him and the trainers and the doctors and our strength staff are working like crazy to get him ready.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Martin.
Hey, Nick. If you look at the way the defense has played over the past month or two, how much of that is tangible improvements or changes you've made, and how much of it is just the personnel of the opponents might be different than what you played the first month of the season?
I think what we've done is just done a good job of getting better every day, and not listening to the outside noise. When the outside was telling our defense they stink, we didn't listen. We put our head down and we continued to work. When the outside is telling us now you're in the top 5 and you're awesome, we're not listening. We're putting our head down and working and trying to get better. Of course, the opponent that you play and the offense that you play or the defense that you play always goes into it. But this is the NFL. Any team is capable of doing anything at any time, and so we don't look at it like that. We do what we got to do to win each football game. And like I said, we put our head down and work and try to get a little bit better each week. And I think what you're seeing is that development of the defense of, hey, we're better, right? There's no secret. We're better now than when we were a month ago because of the way our guys work and our philosophy of, hey, how do I leave this place a little bit better than I was yesterday? And so that's a product of that as well, and that's what we believe is the main product of, hey, we just put our head down, work, and try to get better every day, and that's why we're on an uphill trajectory of how we're playing right now.
Go ahead, Martin, and then Tim.
Hi, Nick. I wanted to ask you about the NFL's new COVID rules that came out yesterday. In the context, I mean, I know you said on Monday that you plan to separate the quarterbacks into different rooms and everything. Like, were you guys planning any other type of, I don't know, COVID type of adjustments? And just your thoughts on being able to get like a bunch of guys back sooner.
Sure. Yeah, we've made even more adjustments. Yeah, the main one is the us separating the quarter. Like, I just left a quarterback room meeting to come down here do the interview, and we weren't in a room, right? Jalen was in his room, Gardner was in his room, Reed was in his room, Shane was in his office, I was in my office, Brian was in his office. So that is the one meeting, and specialists, we made them all virtual as well. So those are the meetings we went all virtual for. The rest of the guys are in person. There's going to be some things that we do as far as getting young guys ready to play that's a little unique and a little different. I'm not going to share that here, Martin, right now, just for competitive advantages, but we're doing some things to make sure that guys, if a guy gets sprung into action late, that he's going to be ready to go even more so than what he would have in the past. I just can't say enough, though, about our building and our organization that we're able to handle changes, to me, right, I know how hard they're working, and I know behind the scenes they're doing so much, when we got those rules changed different. We changed a lot about how we were meeting again. And so, but the work of our building and our organization to handle the changes and to make sure that everything was flawless today, it goes unnoticed, but it's really a tribute to our organization and our video department and our Dan Ryan and his department, and then just all the different departments. I mean, I can't say everybody that made everything easy for us today as coaches and players, but Pat Dolan, John Ferrari, I could keep going on and on about how many guys and girls in this organization made it possible for us to meet flawlessly today.
Thanks.
We'll go to Chris Franklin and then Jeff next.
Hey, Nick, when it comes to
Chris.
Kerryon Johnson, I saw you guys come into the practice squad. What made you guys feel comfortable enough to bring him back? And I know you say you're hopeful that Jordan Howard is trending to be back, but is that I think that's more of an indication that he may not be ready? Is this more insurance policy?
No, I wouldn't look too far into that. Again, we're hopeful with Jordan. We're just making sure we have other hands on deck, ready to go. Kerryon knows the offense. I thought Kerryon was really good on third down and protections, and then and out of the backfield. I thought he did a good job on first and second down, running the football with different types of schemes that we do, and we have confidence in him, and that's why we brought him back. And that's always a good story for guys for us to be able to tell next year, right, in training camp. Be like, hey, not everybody might make this team, but there's a chance that you're back, and this is an example of that. It's definitely something we said to Kerryon when he left, and look where we are now. He's back and looking to help us win this game on Sunday.
Go ahead, Jeff, and then John Clark.
Nick, with I guess some of the different stuff you did with Jalen Hurts in terms of the run game, I think you mentioned in Washington because of the ankle, and then because of the Giants, maybe there wasn't as much of it. Did you notice that the lack of a threat, that he'll keep it, altered the way those teams defended you at all?
I don't think so, because it wasn't like we were just not going to do it at all. It's just we did it a little bit less, and so they have to be prepared for that. They know what a threat he is to be able to keep it, and I didn't notice that. Now, if you continue on a streak like this where he's not carrying it, or if his ankle's not getting better or whatever it is, then maybe you see a difference. But he's done a great job of rehab. He's feeling better every day. What he tells me, he's getting better every day. And so, like I said earlier in the week, I don't feel like there's as many that we don't have restrictions on him anymore. And we didn't necessarily have restrictions, but I guess we're being less and less careful. And I know that's not the best way to say it either, but. We're feeling more and more comfortable. Let me say it this way. We're feeling more and more comfortable, and Jalen's feeling more and more comfortable to do the things we need to do to win the football game.
We have time for two more, so go ahead, John, and then Josh.
Hey, Nick, after the game Sunday, Jalen Hurts says he knows in his heart that you guys haven't played your best game yet and you're all striving for it. Do you agree with that? And what is the potential of this team?
I think we all agree with that in the sense that we know we can get better. There's always something. You never play a flawless game. Ever, right? And you're always striving to be better and be better and be better. And I think that's fair. And when you're in the mode of what we are, a process-driven, very results aware team, and then you think you're gonna grow each day. And so yeah, I hope the last game we play is our best game. That's what I always hope. That we're continuing on that upward trend. And I think our guys, I know our guys believe that, our coaches believe that, our players believe that. And like I said, we're just trying to get better every day. And you're never going to play a flawless game. There's always going to be things that you need to correct and get better from.
Go ahead, Josh.
Hi, Nick. I'm following up on, Devontae's catch. And I was wondering something you said a couple of weeks ago about, what they rep in practice. I was wondering if you could provide a little bit more insight on the intricacies of, whether it be the amount of reps they do that toe tap or, the jugs and just, what makes him excel at those plays.
We put them through just the drills that they're doing 5 catches and I'll try to explain this as best I can without getting too much. I don't mind getting too much into it. It just could go long. But 5 catches of each, I want to say, difficult catch or unusual catch that they might make. And so as you go through the years, you always are saying, "Ooh, add that to the repertoire," because if you're only making a difficult catch, if you're only dragging your feet at practice, if you're only dragging your feet on Sunday, then you're not going to be used to doing it. And so there's no telling that how many reps you'll get of dragging your feet in a team period, right? You're going to go through that process of team periods, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a drag your foot on the sideline during team period. So you try to simulate those things as much as you can. So you have the sideline drag, you have traffic catches that you try to get, and again, you have low balls, you have high balls, you have behind balls, you have over the shoulder, you have over the shoulder where you turn your shoulder and catch it over the other side. I got a great story about that. My dad used to throw me this ball all the time. He would always have me right here, and he'd have me look over my left shoulder and then flip over and catch it over the right shoulder when he put it on the other side. And I'm like, I never caught one. And I moved from quarterback to receiver in high school, and it didn't happen in high school. I'm like, well, all right, I rep these all the time. Then I'd be at home in the summer and football, and my dad would be throwing it to me. It never happened. And then one game my junior year, it happened, and I was so excited. I caught a touchdown pass against Wabash where I looked over the one shoulder and then caught it over the other shoulder. So, and I will take that back. It was a touchdown. They said that it hit the ground. It didn't. All right, but it did show up in that time. So my point of all of this is you try to put yourself in as many scenarios as you possibly can before the game, and that's just natural. We've stole it from everybody. Like I saw Des Bryant one time, and this is a drill that we do now. I saw him in a warm-up. We were at the Chargers, and we were playing the Cowboys, and he had his assistant, somebody with him, and he had a towel around his arm. And every time he would catch it, the guy would yank his arm and simulate that yank of his arm. And we added that to the repertoire. So it's grown over the years of the type of catch you can do. And we just try to put our guys in the position of doing that. You got to be, and I credit to all of the position coaches, because you got to sit there and you just got to pepper balls at them all the time, over and over and over and over again. And so that's where that came from. And just to put them in that position that they might not be able to get in otherwise before Sunday.
Appreciate
Good thing
it.
that answer didn't go long.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Of course. Thanks, everybody.